Hi guys, my name's Lance. I'm the Managing Director here at DRIVELINE, and today I want to talk to you about the differences between lease and hire purchase. So what's the most cost effective? What's the most tax effective? So the big thing here is I want you to talk to your accountants. You know, they're your key advisors. They're the ones I want you to rely on to make the final decision between a lease and a hire purchase. But whatever they want you to do, Lease HP, we're right there for you. We can do both of those here at DRIVELINE. So let's get into it and keep it simple. So we're going to look at a vehicle of around $35,000. On the hire purchase, we're going to assume that you're going to put a 15% deposit in, which essentially is the GST content, and over 48 months that would give you payments of $762 a month. If we looked at a lease over the same term, you're going to be looking at around $585 a month. So what the accountants do when they're looking at tax effectiveness is generally they're looking at, you know, what can they chuck into the accounts to reduce your tax liability. So that's all your expenses. So the way that you expense a hire purchase is looking at your interest and your depreciation costs, and we're using 8.95% and a depreciation rate of 30%. With a lease, it's just the total amount of the GST exclusive payments. So if we looked at the difference between the two of them, with your HP, you'd be looking at $29,289 over that 4-year period. That's the total of interest and depreciation versus $28,080 for the lease. So straight away you can see that there's really not a lot of difference from a tax point of view between the two of them. So then, you know, why do people go down the lease path? Well, generally people are looking at turning vehicles over every 3 or 4 years. You know, if they're going to go for the fully maintained operating leases, then they don't want the, you know, the hassle of having to go and sell vehicles and trade vehicles and deal with dealers and all the rest of it. So with a hire purchase though, you're looking to basically retain that vehicle over the full period and afterwards, and retain ownership. That's the key. Cash flow is the big consideration here. $585 a month versus $762 a month. And then, you know, under a lease, generally with a fully maintained operating lease, the risk of resale and residual is with the lessor. So, you know, that's a consideration. Okay, so what are the main disadvantages we hear about lease? And I think this is worth covering. Generally, it's going to come down to termination. You've got 12 months to go and you want to upgrade. You know, how do we get out of a lease easily without some massive expense? Excess kilometres and refurbishment are the next two biggies. So, you know, you might go to the lease company, say that you're going to do 75,000 Ks over the next 4 years, but hand the vehicle back with 140,000 Ks on it. Under that scenario, you're going to be up for a really big bill for excess kilometres. You hand the vehicle back and the lease company turns around and says, hey, well, we want all this stuff fixed and we're going to fix it for you, and there's a bill for $2,500. So, you know, there's 3 scenarios there that generally will turn people off from going down the lease track. Alright, so what are the options then? Well, I reckon you should be having a look at a smart lease. If leasing is potentially what you want to be doing, then smart lease gets around all the issues to do with refurbishment, excess kilometres and termination. Termination under a smart lease is on the same basis as a hire purchase. There's a lot more flexibility in terms of what you can do over the next few years. So there's a simplified overview on the main differences between lease and hire purchase. Once again, we absolutely encourage you to talk to your accountant before you make any final decisions. We can give you some pricing on hire purchase versus lease, and we'll do whatever your accountant wants you to do. So we've got a fantastic team of consultants around the country. They've got great experience levels, really nice guys to be dealing with, and totally open on whatever solution best fits your business requirements. So give us a call and we really look forward to catching up with you soon.